Welcome back to the Alabama Film Room. I'm Lauren Sisler. This is John Parker Wilson. And Alabama had 2 goals in mind when they went up against Kent State. That was number 1, to develop some of their depth, younger players, and number 2, stay healthy. The latter of the 2 did not happen. When you're a player in that situation and you see all your players going down around you, how nerve-wracking is that?
Yeah, well, it's tough because you go out there, you're trying to win the game, you're trying to execute, you're trying to get better. But when guys start getting around, you definitely know. So Damien Harris goes down. He's over there in the tent, and the doctors are fixing him, trying to get him going. What you got to do as a player, though, is focus and not worrying about it. You can never go out there and worry about getting injured, because that's when guys really do get hurt, is when they're not going full speed, get to the sidelines and start trying to get out. That's when injuries do happen. So you just got to do your job, continue to get better, and try to finish every play.
And you talk about Damien Harris going down early, but Alabama being able to adjust to that, primarily because of one guy you're going to show us right here.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, once again, is going to steal the show and take over. We'll see an early play right after Damien Harris goes off. But first, we've got our colleague for the Auburn side, Cole Cubitt, looking good. I want to point out on the telestrator his red tie. He's a big Auburn guy, but wearing red, looking pretty good in red.
Props for him right there.
Props for him. Had to give him the props.
And in the 90-plus degree weather.
It was hot. And I think we did a better job this week as a team going with the heat. Early game, Ole Miss, we saw guys getting IVs. That's become pretty famous. So this game, we were able to get through. Nobody was cramping up, so that was good.
Good stuff. All right, show us Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so Jalen Hurts right here. This is an interesting play. So right after Damien Harris goes down, what are we going to do? We're going to get back to the meat of our offense, and that's going to be Jalen Hurts run the ball. Our big guy, our tight end that everybody wants to see catch the ball more, but the reason that he's going to be a first or second round draft pick is because his ability to block. Watch him come in motion. He's going to get in the flat and then lay a great block, and this is something that you just have. He's a big guy. He runs really well, but those are great block. Jalen Harris on a design run. The offensive line crashed down to do a good job. He pulls the balls off to the races. See O.J. Howard laying a great block. But another thing I want to point out about this play before we show Cole again is the ability. So this is something we're going to build on over the season happens. So we just saw O.J. go in the flat and block. This is very easy to run a pass play off of it with the same exact look. So we'll see the offensive line come down like a run. I wouldn't be surprised if later in the year we saw this same look right here in the flat, going deep, and then Dieter coming across. This is a classic bootleg play that's going to be off a run. But this run did end up being pretty successful. Okay, very next play after the Jalen Hurts run, and I think we've seen Kiffin do this quite a few times this year, is dial up the same play as soon as it happens. So it's successful. Let's do it again. OJ is going to be in the flat. This time with the blitz, our outside receiver is going to come in and seal it off. So a good job from these guys figuring out who he needs to block. The receiver can block the corner. At the same time, he has the option to block the most dangerous guy and does a really good job of saying, okay, this linebacker has a much more potential to make the tackle than the cornerback does. So he takes the most dangerous blitzer, and then O.J. Howard's going to come off, seal it in a walk-in touchdown because of that communication that we have between the wide receiver and the tight end blocking. It's been very easy for them to mess up that right here. You see O.J. right there comes in. He's looking to block the guy, sees the receiver come in, goes to the next level. Just, a veteran guy, O.J. Howard, doing more than just catch the ball. He got a couple more catches this game, but did a great job of springing Jalen Hurts free for the touchdown.
You talk about wide receivers. Another concern with injuries. ArDarius Stewart went out last week, and then you had Calvin Ridley who went out later in this game, and of course Robert Foster out. So with those guys, Cam Sims, a guy that we saw step up in this game, and we expect to see some big things from him this season.
Yeah, Cam Sims, we highlight him this year as a guy that if this did happen, with the depth that we had starting off the year, what would happen? Here it is, drop back play, throw it right to him, back shoulder, and he does a good job of being an athlete and making a play. So we know it's man coverage with one safety in the field. We've got 3 linebackers in the box. This guy's walking down to make it 7. So a great play or a great defense to stop the run. Jalen Hurts sees it and throws a really good ball to the outside to Cam Sims. This is what has to happen when guys get hurt. Garrett Dieter, a transfer, is going to also have to step up. But making plays like this back shoulder catch, gives the coaches confidence to call these plays. When you can call plays down the field like this and know at worst that's going to happen is an incomplete, the best it's going to go on the 1 yard line or touchdown. This gives Lane Kiffin and Coach Saban confidence to throw the ball downfield to these guys who aren't, the number one, number two guys starting off the season.
And now we bring it down to the goal line. Nick Saban known for putting defensive guys in the game, but in this situation, not blocking Mack Wilson with the touchdown here.
Yeah, so just last week we saw Mack Wilson go under, when Jalen Hurts was under center, go in the eye and give us a really nice lead block. This time we're going to fake that play. He's going to come in the flat and for a linebacker and for a defensive guy, make a really good catch. Most of these guys are playing defense because they don't have good hands, and Mack Wilson does a pretty good job of reeling it in right here.
Pretty impressed with that now.
Yeah, in order to sells a good fake, and Jalen Hurts heats him up pretty good. He throws a pretty hard ball. Doesn't catch it on the first attempt, but does it good on the second. Reels it in for a touchdown. See the players on the sidelines happy for him. Happy for a defensive guy to go out there. Doesn't spend a lot of time on the offense catching the ball, but reels it in, and just raises the morale of the whole team.
Now, depth a concern. We talked about it earlier in the year before the season really started at running back. That didn't seem to be an issue, but now with guys shuffling in and out, what we saw here, what are your thoughts on the depth of this team and how it's going to carry them the rest of the season?
So it's the next man up. I think one of the strengths of Alabama's recruiting. We've got a lot of good guys on the team. It's just a matter of getting them the game reps. This game allowed them the ability to go out and get some reps. We saw guys like Joshua Jacobs carry the ball probably more than he would expect it to, but he's getting better. You can tell each game he's getting better. They're relying on him more. And when guys go down, the next guy's got to be up and ready to go. And it's different when you're playing a lesser opponent. When you're playing LSU or you're playing Tennessee or you're playing Arkansas, that guy's got to be ready to play.